All systems go. Cleared for takeoff.
What's up, everyone? Tyler Tamboline here, a.k.a. ToeTagginTambo. We're back on the Mayo Media Network here. We got the ShipitNation collaboration. My guy Hoop here with me, talking all things Round 3 Showdown. Get into it pretty quick. But, Hoop, did you send your Live in 5 tweet out, or you missed it tonight?
I missed it. I'm going to be live 5 minutes ago. Instead of Live in 5, okay. Live 5 minutes ago. So I'm going to wait, I got 4 minutes, and then I'm going to get the tweet out. All right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to buy time to wait for the first comment about my setup tonight. Obviously.
Oh yeah, you got to distract, bro. You have to come out with a distraction with that backdrop.
Yeah, exactly. So we're getting in here for the people. You know, we're going to get into it. Look in the background. Less is more. We need a little insulation in this place. But I'm down at my parents' cottage. We're going to have a good family weekend. But you know, we got to grind. We got to get this stuff in. I spent about the last hour after the round ended just digging in, getting stuff ready for you guys. I whiffed today on a few things. Hoop, like the same guys just kept going. Forget, we'll talk the cut line in a second because it applies towards it. But Grillo, English, Shank. I wish I just played the same dudes from day one and just plug them in. What did Harry Hall do? He was still up there, I think, too. He's another guy. Like, yeah, he's still up there. Like this guy just
all the dudes that crush round 1, crush round 2. Yeah. Like they didn't come. I mean, and that's like if you're playing Showdown, you know. This stuff can happen, but like the proper move is to avoid those guys at the top of the leaderboard because you know the ownership's following, and like what they did the day before has no correlation on what they're going to do today. So it's the right move. People that just went to the top of the leaderboard definitely got rewarded today. You get the Harris English ace. You get our guy Hall. What, he's at 12 under now, so he must have shot like four under today. Like. Yeah. You got rewarded today, but more times than not, you're going to get punished.
Oh, man, it's incredible. And you look at the top, too. Like you said, I get no one would do this and leave this much salary on the table, but Hall, English, Grillo, Shank, Shelton, there's others there, too. Like, again, plug it in with Scotty, and you basically have the guys that are up there now. I don't know exactly how the optimal would have laid out from there, but just in general, one of those days, I can tell you for sure, I was talking about it in our Discord over at ShipitNation.com. Basically, when you look at it from that perspective, it was like, all year round, that's the edge, right? We know what happens, the FOMO of I missed out on these guys. I got to get back in on them. I've made plenty of money going against that. I'll continue to do so likely, and we'll see how that happens. But we're going to dive into it. We're going to do it like always, guys. We're going to check with the weather first, see if there's an edge there. It did get sent out, so they are all going off of the first tee tomorrow. They are going off in pairs. Why is that important? It's pretty simple. There's going to be a disparity in these tee times, right? Sometimes we get it where there's split tees and all this. We're not having that tomorrow, so there is a potential for some wind edge, things like that. It's Texas. Things happen. Shout out to my guy, Al Cass. I see my boy, Al Cassidy, in chat. Yeah, appreciate you, man, checking this out. Yeah. Shout out to all the Degenerate 75 viewers that are coming over. He's the man. He's out enjoying his time this weekend. Always try and support him everywhere I can. I love what he does. I think people love that mother father, as he'll say. Yeah. So definitely some good stuff.
Yeah, definitely shout out to him. He was getting some Michael Block comments though in the chat based on his out of swing. I really appreciated those. But definitely shout out to our guy Degenerate 75. Giving us the shout out, telling us people to come watch us for round 3. Hopefully we can provide the winners for you guys, and I think we will.
Yeah, we'll dive into it now and go through some of the stuff. Stop halfway, maybe for a little quick break. We'll go through a couple things we got going on, but Hoop. Weather tomorrow, like I just talked about where they're going off in the tee times, I think it's 750 right up to 150. So like I said, it's quite a difference when some of these guys are going off. Obviously, the leader is going off later, so that's something to keep in mind for fading them and whatnot. But tomorrow, seeing 5 to 8 throughout the day, sort of wind miles per hour sustained, and then a little bit more in the morning in that sort of 7:30 to 9:30 range, gusts of up to 15, but nothing that I'm seeing too serious. Otherwise, temps a little bit colder in the morning than the rest of the day, but overall, not too much I'm seeing. And then keep in mind, it is the guys that are at the bottom of the leaderboard. Mind you, some of those guys grinded. I'll go there in a second. But thoughts on weather before we dive into the tiers?
Talked about it last night. It's just not enough to make a difference. I mean, again, I'm looking for 10 to 15 miles an hour with some gust, and then a difference of, 5 to 10, and then the gust an additional 10. And we just don't have that. doesn't look like we're going to have it at all this weekend. So weather for me is just going to continue to not be a factor. Although I will say, I think it was the second day in a row where the guys that went off early had a little bit of an advantage in terms of the strokes. And it looked like it was close to a full stroke today, and it was very similar. I believe it was like, a half or maybe a little bit more yesterday. So the early tee times are just getting a natural advantage here, it looks like.
Yeah, and I think I was just going to say, I'm glad you went there at the end. I was going to say I'm actually going to go there today. Like, I'll put it up a little bit, but I definitely want to have some of that. And I also think when you look at it, some of the guys that made it, I mean, there were some heroes down there. My guy, Jagerbombs, squeezed in. Like, +1 was the cut. He got in. My other guy, Kurt Kitayama, one of my core plays this week, Bo Hostler. I think he's fine. Like, he looks good down there. Nick Hardy, another guy. We talked about him and Riley winning that team event. Well, Hardy did his thing down the stretch to be able to squeeze in. So there's definitely some guys down there. You go down to 1 under. There's a lot of others. Some of the guys that hurt people's feelings real quick. Jordan Spieth definitely just bailed on everybody. I posted that picture on Twitter and just said, caption this. It was a bad scene. I think the best was a couple guys. One said that's what it feels like to be a dad, because he's obviously a dad, and he sometimes just thinks like, oh man, I got to look after those kids. Get to the weekend, I'm not going to be able to play any more golf. So there's that. And then what was Eddie Pepperell hopped in there, DP World Tour superstar Eddie Pepperell, and said that's just golf, man. And I put the Michael Block picture back on him where he said the same thing after he shot 11 over in round 1. But a bunch of guys, man, like that +2 range. There was going to be some do or die guys. My other guy, Patrick Rogers, came through, but Cam Davis missed. Tony Finau missed. These are guys all in the number. Sung Jae Im missed.
What's up with Sungjae, man? This is like his spot to bounce back. Like Sungjae, that was, brutal back to back. And then, our guy Troy Merritt. we talked ourselves into Troy Merritt yesterday, or at least I talked myself into. I played him on my main team. Did not work out.
Oh my gosh, I could not do that. I mean, I was in the show last night and I was on the player pool, but I'll tell you that I didn't have him as my main guy. I just opted him over for Telly. I think it started strong, and then they both had about the same day. But Fleetwood, another guy that hurt people's feelings, and then back to Im. I coined this in the chat today. Maybe it already existed, but I definitely need an intervention, not an intervention, an intervention. I told you guys if I play him again and he backtracks on me, I'm in trouble. Sure enough, the guy has to do it on the number. I don't know what would have been worse. If he makes it on the number and just has like a good moving day or goes something like that, I probably would be in too deep anyway. It would be just continue on. At least in this case, maybe I can actually consider it, but I probably won't stop playing Sung Jae Im. But anything else you want to talk about down there?
If you have an intervention on Im, count me Im.
Count me in. Okay, he's starting to pick up lines, you guys. You hear that? Keeps hanging around me too much. Now he's starting to pick up lines. Let's dive into this. Everybody wants us to get into the gear here. So we got Scotty Scheffler right back up top. I highly doubt either of us are changing our stance. I mean, this guy looks today, Hoop, like he could have shot 6-7 under, no problem. And instead, he just does his little thing. Like that, he's just that good, man. It's just insane to watch this talent. Every time out, he did nothing, but he did everything, and he's right there in the mix. And people say, but he's 6 strokes back. That's why there's 4 days. 2 full days for Scotty to do his thing, a 3 under bogey free. I mean, he shot like a 65 bogey free a couple weeks ago and called it a bad day. This he must call a horrible day. The guy is just so good, but I'm assuming you're sticking with him. Thoughts on that? And then other guys up, down, and let's go down to 9K for this one.
Yeah, it is crazy. So I just pulled it up. So he's 6 strokes back, and he's 3.5 to 1 to win the event. So that should tell you all you need to know about Mr. Scheffler. We've been doing these shows, obviously, our second week here at ShipitNation. I've played Scotty Scheffler every single round, every single slate. Continue to do so. He's 11-8. He's the best golfer in the world. He's 3 under for round 1, 3 under round 2. And like he hasn't even been playing all that well. So I'll just continue to play him. I think he's fine. I mean, 11-8, obviously he's going to get ownership, but again, you always put it best. It's not, who you play, it's how you play them. So know that he's going to come in with high ownership. That's fine. Just continue to play him. I want to continue to fade Hovland. Haven't played him at all. Homa versus Morikawa. I feel like I can only play one of those two, and I think I'm probably going to lean Morikawa. He was solid today. I believe a 3 under round for him. Obviously, Homa played well too, but if I have to decide between one of the two, it's going to be Morikawa. So the guys in this 10K range, Scheffler won, tier of his own, blah, blah, blah. I've said the same thing for 2 weeks straight. Don't want to be repetitive. He's the top dog for sure. Morikawa, and then maybe some Homa, and I'll fade Hovland. So, I mean, to me, it's a pretty clear top tier for me.
Yeah, and look, Morikawa didn't break the slate or anything. I'm not victory lapping it too hard, but it was just to show it off. I'd rather people learn from it, just to say, like, I think, again, the common practice that we see in people playing Showdown is the simple, just sort it by this and see who gained on approach, who lost with the putter, jam them in. It's good. I get it. It can work that way. We've seen it plenty of times. But my thing with Morikawa, like I said yesterday, if you're going to do that for people that we do it with everybody. So even notoriously bad putters, like, oh, but if he finds a putter, yeah, we do that forever. And then he doesn't find a putter. But with you, a guy that has an iron game like Morikawa does, it's any given day, but it's rare to see a day as bad as his first one was. And if you go back and look at him, round one, he lost almost a stroke and almost pushing 2 strokes on approach. And I just don't see that continuing. So while everyone's going the other way, I was looking for that up top. He gained almost 2.5 strokes on approach today, 3 under. He did have a couple bogeys on the card still, but still 5 birdies. I think it was like 41.6 DraftKings points. It wasn't incredible for the price. There's lots of people that beat him. I'm just saying that's what we have to look at things differently. And he was just another, again, almost like the Scotty example. He's 1 or 2 holes away from breaking it wide open and having a really good score. So not a bad score, but again, just have to look at things a little bit differently when we're breaking down Showdown, trying to find these edges and angles as we go into these slates. But I'm the same as you. I'm going back to him. I don't mind playing Homa. I'll tell you why, because when we get 7,500 to 9K, I really don't have very many plays in there. Yeah. So for me, I'm definitely going to play these 3 up top, let them mix and match. So it's going to be Scotty, it's going to be Homa, and it's going to be Morikawa. That's where I'm going at up top there. There's not much else for me. I was going to ask you about one more before we hop down. My next guy was Siwoo Kim at 8,900, but anything Ricky Fowler or Rose, those were the only other 2 that kind of stood out to me there that I was trying to see. Working with less monitors than usual, but so Ricky lost almost 2 strokes with the putter today, still made 4 birdies. So, I mean, it was out there for him. And then Rose, quite the opposite. He actually looks pretty good here. I wonder how much ownership he gets tomorrow, but he actually is a guy I'm going to consider as well, because when you look at him, 4 birdies, bogey free, gained over 3 on approach, and it was not 1 hole. It's actually just I'm going to definitely consider Rose even more than I thought coming in. I was looking at the 10K and above thinking that was it, but it's Rose, and then I'll drop to Siwoo. Any thoughts on Ricky, though? And you can add on Rose if you want.
Yeah, I mean, so Burns, I'm not going to play. I mean, we talked about it yesterday, and there's something I have with Burns. I don't know what it is. Like, I look at him, and he pisses me off. Like, I don't know. I literally cannot put my finger on it, but the look of him just screams, I don't want to play this guy, so I don't play him. I don't know what it is. I used to play a lot of them, but now I can't play him anymore. Rose, man, just a very solid stretch of golf, and it's a course that suits his game well. You look at what he's done lately. He's just been playing very, very well. Just don't fight it with him anymore. Just play him. And that's kind of where I'm at, because I tried fighting it for a while because he kind of, faded away a little bit, but he's come back strong. I'm done fighting it. I'm playing him. He is a core play candidate, I'll say, going into tomorrow for me. And then Ricky Fowler, battled, hasn't really gotten it all together. 1 under. That's good for 39th. I mean, this course it's not a super easy course. So 1 under, solid number. I'm in on him at 9.1K. So, Rose over Fowler if you're deciding, but I like both.
What about your Burns conversation? Greg said Burns has a hot wife. Does this help?
Maybe that's it. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. But the thing about golfers, they all do, man. Like, even the ugly golfers, even like the fat ugly dudes have like absolute 10s. So like, that's not saying anything. They all have smoke shows. All of them. It's crazy.
Country club money, maybe. That's why.
Like, Tom Hoagie's an ugly motherfucker. I guarantee you he has a hot wife.
Someone will pull it up. By the way, I know Dylan Wu hurt some feelings today, but our guy Dylan, I love Dylan G. He's the man. He said Troy's parents, going back to Merritt for a second, some investigative journalism. We're seeing a lot of that these days on YouTube. Says Dylan G says Troy's parents are going through a divorce and it's messing him up. His caddy left him last week. I know his mother-in-law. Could be speculation. I'll trust him. You guys come through. I've talked to him a few times. Maybe he's right.
He's got to be in his 30s or something, right? Like,
I know what you're saying.
Like, how can that affect you if your parent, like, he probably has his own family and shit. Like, if your parents are going through a divorce, how does that mess you up on the golf course? I don't know if I can buy that, but it's good information though, for sure.
Yeah, speculation, but we'll see. We can look into that. We'll go to this next tier. I said
that's number 13 though, 13 in a row. So I mean, this divorce must really be having a negative effect on him. Yeah. So I mean, it's legit information. It sounds like, but man, like, come on. You're a grown-ass man. Like, if your parents are going through a divorce, get your ass out there and compete in a golf tournament once in 13 tries.
I don't like too much small talk, as you know, but this one I got to bring up quick because we're on the Troy case. So Troy's caddy one time was rocking some, I forget the name brand that it was, but it was an incredible hat. And I remember on Fantasy Golf Degenerates pod saying, man, I kind of want to get that hat. If someone in the chat remembers what it is, look it up. His boy had the hat on. It was awesome. But Hoop, we might be able to get a hashtag ship it hat. I mean, it's tough times. He's missed like 12 cuts now.
Bro, when you miss 13 in a row, like you're begging, you got to be begging for sponsors. Like,
and look, and we get it going into something like the John Deere where it's perfect for him, like a birdie fest, get right back on track. And all of a sudden he's in the mix on Sunday, rocking one of our hats. I mean, this could be our guy. If anyone, Dylan, hit me up, man. I've talked to him plenty of times in DMs on Twitter and stuff. He could send me a link or a message. I can get a hold of those guys. But if anyone remembers the hat his caddy had on, it was nice. But let's hop back into this. I said I like Siwoo. Who do you like in this 8K range, Hoop? We got Min Woo Lee at the bottom all the way up to Siwoo at 8,900. Who are some of the guys?
Not a ton that I like here. Like Scheffler, Morikawa, Rose, Fowler up top. Like when I get to this 8K range, I'm going to be off a lot of these guys. My two favorites are honestly the two that have the best scores so far, just because I've been on them all the way through. Like I played all these guys in the main, or these two guys specifically on the main and last round. Benny on 7 under, playing great. Grillo, I played on the main slate and yesterday 8 under. Like those are two of my favorites. Now I'm going to make some fades on some of these guys at the top when we get down to them. But these two guys are my favorite in this range. I'm not going to fight it. Min Woo, not too much interest. So honestly, in this range, I'm going to be off all these guys except On and Grillo. Those are my two favorites.
The chat got it, man. Where's my guy? Chris L. Yeah, it was Trap Golf. His caddy's a G. He was rocking his hat. It's really nice. And I think they would like our brand, and we could put that on there. I should find a way to reach out, get him to rock one of the hats at one of these tournaments upcoming. It'd be kind of cool.
I mean, bro, when you miss 13 in a row, like you definitely need to take some chances out there.
Yeah, take a shot. Take a shot on ShipitNation. So we'll keep it going. We'll get into that in a second. But for me, Siwoo, the other guy I want to look up, you mentioned Grillo. I faded him today. I think I'm going to do it again tomorrow. Again, he wants to keep coming through. The only reason I'm even a little bit hesitant, Hoop, though, is because how good he's looked. It's just tough, man. Like I took the hard stance yesterday. One thing I'll say, though, I'm watching golf for a very long time now and playing these games, it just seems like when Grillo's when he gets in the hunt and when he's just playing good repetitive days, it seems like it just continues to be the same story. Yeah. And the thing about him today that was so tilting was he did go front then back, and it was a birdie and a bogey, and that's it. All pars on the front 9. You're like, oh, it's good news. Like he didn't really crush. We're in good shape. Let's see. Bang. 5 under, bogey free, back 9, and just dominates and crushes it. So that's the thing about him. So I'll think about him, but for sure in on Grillo. And then the other guy I was looking up was Benny.
Yeah, I'm in on him. I mean, I've been all week. I'm going to stick with it.
In on Benny Ann. Yeah, let's see this here. Stats-wise, he's another one. Looks, again, his stuff is just solid, and it's across the board. It wasn't like 1 or 2 holes or something where he just holed out and the stats look good. His numbers look good. And again, up the middle here, I don't have too many guys, so I'm okay to fill him into the mix. So let's just see here. Is this true? He's lurking, making sure we're saying nice things about him. Yeah, of course. I hope he had a great day out on the golf course. I hope he had a lot of good ranch water out there. Maybe I know that's a drink that I got onto when he sort of told me what it was on there. I can't get the certain, what is it, like Topo Chico water up here?
I got some ranch waters in the basement, man.
Yeah, you can get it in the States. You can get whatever you want.
You like that stuff? You like it?
I like the ranch water. I like it's like a tequila soda, but
you got to make your way to Hoop's house. I got a fridge full of that shit in the basement. My a family friend, she works for one of the companies that distributes, and she keeps giving me these cases of the ranch water. I have a ton sitting in the basement.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. He's going to be coming at you now and want to get in on the action as well. So the chat's making predictions also on Harry Hall. Does he even finish in the top 5, top 10, whatever? Yeah, it's tough to say who's going to be leading these tournaments after 2 rounds. But again, as you guys know, and as the chat's talking about, it can be anybody, and then it also can fade away pretty quickly. 2 full rounds, right? That's why I say Scotty is 6 back. It's Scotty Scheffler. Nobody here is surprised. That's some hot take if he's winning on Sunday. It's just the way it can go. The wind picks up, it bakes out a little bit more, it gets hot. Remember last year, if anyone, like people probably don't even remember, or some that do, but maybe some don't even watch it. Sam Burns beat Scotty Scheffler in a playoff. Scotty was crushing, and that's why he went out later. Sam Burns went out early. I believe he shot 7 under to get the job done. And it ended up like, again, the job done was there's going to be a playoff. Scotty had so many edges burned down the stretch, but it was just so baked out, and it was just the wind had hit and everything like that. And so all he could make was pars. And in the end, it ended up being the playoff where Sam Burns, this was crazy actually. Scotty came up way short. He was like 40 feet down the hill. Sam Burns was up at the top. I think it was like a 30-footer coming down the hill towards the hole. And Scotty goes and stands, not in his line because he's off to the side, but he stood there like with his arms crossed, and Burns is just nails. He just walks over. He'd already done it at the Valspar where he made it off the green or whatever against Davis Riley in the playoff. He just nails the putt, looks at Scotty, looks down, walks up and picks it up. He's like, yeah, go to the bottom of the hill. See if you can make the 40-footer. If not, it's game over. Yeah. It was just incredible stuff. I like to see that stuff. I know, it's not for everybody, but it's something that definitely stands out for me. Passion for the game. It just reminded me of that. Hoop, let's go into this 7,500 and up range. For me, the first guy at the top, Steven Jaeger. Guy grinded, got the job done, made the cut on the number. Now it's fire away. I definitely like him. He'll be going out, somewhat in the middle there, I think, or pretty early. Like I had the list up here. I think he goes out 5th group, 6th group, 8:30. So he's going out there sort of right when that wind kicks around. And then, we can see where we can go from there. But I definitely like him in this spot at 7,900. I think most are for sure going to Harris English, and probably for good reason. The guy's been playing some incredible golf, but take over.
Yeah, give me the pivot here for sure. Jaeger over English. I'll take my chances. English is going to get a ton of ownership, sitting at 9 under. Had the hole in one, right? The hole in one. I'll just take Jaeger going out earlier, and the ownership difference going to be massive. Kitayama, I'm going to keep playing him. Another guy going out early tomorrow, I'm assuming, at 1 over 7,600. He's been our guy. Disappointed today, but made the cut. Your guy Putnam at 7.6. I like that. I like that for sure. He's 4 under. He's at a score where not everyone feels like they have to flock to him. Like if you're in that top 10, top 5, everyone knows, hey, I got to get exposure to those guys. He's sitting in 12th, tier below those top guys. Not saying he's going to go overlooked, but he's going to be much lower owned than those top guys. So in there, Batia had a really good round, finished very strong too. A lot of birdies down the stretch. I think he can carry the momentum into tomorrow. 7,500, 3 under, really like him. Justin Suh, 7,400. I'm going to keep playing him. Hall, just definitely fading. I mean, I just think it's like one of the easiest fades in a while. I mean, he's 12 under, been obviously playing great through 2 rounds, but, the ownership is going to follow. Anytime we see a leader in these events for the showdown, 12 under at cheap price tags, like people are playing him. There's no way around it. Good with Smalley. And then our guys, I mean, 2 of our key guys from yesterday, Ryan Fox did not play well today. Definitely going back to him. And then your guy, Ben Griffin, did play better than Fox, 7,300. So, and then Straka's even. So I'll stop there. I know I went a little lower than we
that's fine. I was going to ask you about Schenk, though, before I go.
Yeah, I'm going to be off of him. Like to me, like he's playing well, but is Schenk a $7,800 guy? Like for me, the answer is no. And he's up in that upper tier. What is he? He's T4. 7 under, I think it's a fade for sure. He's typically like a 6K guy, like 7,800 now. Like I'll definitely pass on him.
We got 2 back-to-back. Said word on the street, Degenerate 75 is lurking. We mentioned that. But then look, when Degen gets through with Southwest Airlines, may take up residence with Hoop and Basement Fridge. So
got the ranch water flowing in Hoop's basement. The basement is fully furnished. We got the bar down there. We got a bathroom, we got a shower, we got a walkout. So if you want to, step outside, like you got everything you need in Hoop's basement. So if you want to come here, you don't even have to come to the upper levels. You stay in the basement, you're living large. All right.
Yeah, that sounds good. So I like a lot of the guys that you said, but I guess, So was the one I was going to say. If people, again, like you said, people will go to Harry Hall no matter what. If the guy continues to burn me, that'd be great. And we'll just move on to the next day. But Justin Suh is the guy I can go to there. I like the Batia call. I'm always in on Kitayama. Jaeger, who I mentioned up top. And I was just going to make a key note. I thought about playing Harmon, but I unselected him because you had said yesterday, and it literally came true. The guy played fine. What does that be equal? It's like 2 birdies and a bogey. Like that's what his day is.
Yeah, he's a Wednesday, Thursday play. Like if you're playing the main, he's a main slate guy. You play him on the main slates. He's like, to me, he's just not a showdown guy. He just doesn't. You need the guys that get a ton of birdies Even you're fine with bogeys. You're fine with birdie, bogey in Showdown. Like he never does that. Like, I don't know.
You know why, Hoop? Brian Parman. That's why. He's the par king. That's all he does. He goes out and makes pars all day long. It's that simple. It's what his card is today. You go look him up right now. And that's what I was going to say. So you go, okay, Griffin for 2 seconds. I'll switch gears and then go back to Harman. Griffin, birdie, par, bogey, birdie, par,
that's
birdie.
What you want.
It's all over the map. There's a double in there and then 2 more birdies. Like, that's what you want. And then you go to Harman's card and it's par. What is it? It's a 1 bogey on the front 9, the rest all pars, 2 birdies, the rest all pars. Like that, you get 2 birdies and a bogey, and that's it out of them. It's not going to do very much for you in Showdown. So that's kind of the key. You want to take a few more chances. I like Hubbard. I like Reavie down low. Who are some of the guys for you? Sort of that you mentioned the 7,300. So let's go 7,200 and below.
Yeah, Horschel kind of came back to reality today. I'm going to stick with Hubbard. I mean, he's the guy we talked about the previous 2 days. I think he's a fine play. Our guy, your guy, Patrick Rogers, bounced back today. I think he fell off a little bit at the end, but still had to battle to get in there and 1 under. I think he's a fine play. Michael Kim, Neesmith, and then I got to go back to Carson Young. A guy I was really heavy on the main slate, got the job done. He's sitting 5 under. I will play him. I just I don't like playing these sort of guys. Like if I missed out on them the previous 2 rounds, but I've been on them. So like I'm going to stick with him. I'm going to continue to ride the wave. So I think he's a fine play too down here at 7K.
Yeah, I'll be out on Young again. And again, he had to go today with the putter. The rest, though, I was pretty much in with you. The Hubbard play stands out. If he's going to get ownership for sure. But like you said, there's other guys down here that people can move to. That there's some other guys that you can definitely fit in. If you want to go to like a Taylor, a Rogers, who's the other guy I thought of? Neesmith. And those guys Neesmith, where, again, it doesn't, like, I don't think everyone's going to them because they're in that range that's just down the board. So that's kind of my last thoughts there. We are about 25 minutes in, Hoop. I just want to talk real quick, though, because we did have some exciting news at ShipitNation.com today. We'll save the 6K range for right after we discuss this, but talk to the people a little bit about the partnership we set up today with the Solver.
Yeah, so obviously a lot of people have joined the nation, as we call it, over at ShipitNation, and people were asking, hey, what are you guys going to do for an optimizer? Today, we finally got everything official, ready to go, ready to launch, and we partnered with the Solver. It is now active on our website. If you want to go and sign up, the link is there. It's all on their end. So you sign up through our link at ShipitNation.com. Then you have full access over there at the Solver. Very good product. We vetted multiple companies in terms of who we wanted to partner with, and we felt this was definitely the best fit for what direction we're trying to go in. So you click our link, you get access to the Solver. Our projections come preloaded into the Solver. As time goes on here, we're all ramping up. We're going to continue to, do videos, some screen sharing with the Solver. They already have obviously good tutorials, but we're going to continue on our end to get better using this product and, build out a very good understanding of how it works, how to find the winners along the way. So excited to announce it. It's live now. You go on the site, you can sign up. Very excited about it.
And our boy, Degenerate75, heavy into the Solver streets for quite some time now. I know a lot of his members and people that use his stuff are in the Solver already. Yeah. Just a collaboration note. Obviously, you're going to use it anyway there. But anybody who already has the Solver and from the other angle of this wants to just join up at ShipitNation, we do have our promotional price running right now. It is $59 a month or $5.99 for the year. It's going to be all the major sports. So you've got NFL, NBA, MLB, PGA, and NHL also. We're looking to add some more, maybe some MMA, NASCAR. Anything that gets added down the stretch will be included with your membership. But if you already have the Solver, when you sign up for ShipitNation.com, you'll just be able to email us. We get it set up, and then all the projections we have come preloaded for the other sports. So you would have like Degen 75's Showdown projections and ownership and stuff, and you'd be able to get our player projections for the other sports and maybe that he doesn't cover or whatever. Just another way to do a collaboration where you're already doing stuff with him and he does incredible things, some niche stuff. He's got the college stuff on lock. He does NFL stuff too. So you can mix and match both, but I think it'd be a great way to get over there. But let's move on. Let's go down to the 6K range for the people, and then we'll get out of here. Anything stand out to you right off the top? But I only have probably, I don't know, 8 plays down here or something that I'm really excited about, and not super excited, but enough that I'm going to mention them. But I'm saying it's not like I'm going crazy down here. So go ahead.
Yeah. Yesterday, I think we were able to make the case for a lot of 6K guys on the main slate. We were able to make the case for a lot of 6K guys. Round 3, it's a little more difficult for me, to be honest, to make the case for some guys. You got Robbie Shelton at 6.9K. He's going to be one of the go-to guys down here in this range. I will play him because, again, I played him on the main. I played him round 2, so I'm fine going back to him. Coming down, like Will Gordon, 6.7K. He's a birdie maker. I think he might have had a streak today or close to it. He scored, so fine playing him. Our guy Austin Eckroat, 5 under, 6.6K. I'm interested there. Patton Kizzire, 6'4". Kind of talked about him the last couple days. I think he's a fine play. Chad Ramey, we've talked about him, 6.3K. Definitely interested there. My guy Malnati, man, so pissed I didn't play him on the main slate. Like I always play Peter Malnati. Did not play him on the main. Did not play him yesterday. He's 4 under, and it is a course that could suit him well. So 6K flat, 4 under. I'm definitely interested. So, I'm looking at maybe 6 guys down here, but it's not like it was yesterday or on the main slate where we liked a lot of guys in the 6K. It's going to be a very tight group down here in the 6Ks.
Yeah, I think that's the key. And then, the one you mentioned, like the Eckroats and guys like that, it fits in like Griffin earlier on, where it's just what you said, making all these birdies. Yeah, there's bogeys in there, but who cares, because you're cutting in the other, you're getting the other stuff out of them instead. And that's another guy I've actually got down here. He's at 6,200 is Cody Gribble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 birdies today, 3 bogeys, and then the rest made par. It's not like he's killing you. There's that sort of setup. So I like him. You mentioned Peter Malnati at the stone minimum, going back up. Chad Ramey was another guy kind of like that you just mentioned, but just to note it, Luke List had a pretty good day ball striking wise. So again, he'll have to find a putter, but that's always the case.
List. Man, no, man, we're not playing Luke List.
Let me see it right now.
I just can't.
He's not a guy. Play him. I play him more than you probably. He doesn't look too bad. He still made 3 birdies.
It's because you do content with Mayo. Like you got. That's a Mayo signed guy right there, Luke List. Like that's his dude. One of his main dudes.
Get your Luke List. Get your C Woo Kim.
Yes. Yeah. You're on the Mayo guys lineup. Yes.
Yeah. If only did he make the cut? Probably not. No,
I don't think so.
Of course not. He gained like 3 strokes putting and still missed the cut. So yeah, that tells you all you need to know there. Shelton, who you mentioned, Will Gordon was the other guy, the last guy I've got for you guys. That was the guy I was going to talk about. I think today, another perfect example. Who 5 birdies, 4 bogeys. I think maybe.
Yeah.
What do you have? Yeah, 5 birdies. No. Sorry, an eagle, 4 birdies. And 4 bogeys. This is like the perfect showdown play. This is what you want. So anybody
right there. That's
like
exactly
this,
what you want.
And yeah, if anybody's watching for the first time, the placement points are only in effect in round 4. So tomorrow is just scoring. It doesn't matter. Like you just want all the best guys that put up the scores, fit the best in, mix and match, get an optimizer, go grab the solver through our link, ShipitNation.com, sign up, get everything brought across. My guy Alex is in there. Anything else, Hoop? Final stuff you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Yeah, tomorrow, I like round 3. Round 3 is probably my favorite. Less guys to kind of go through. The cut's already been made. You can make some stands. You can get very overweight on some guys. So, yeah, no, I like kind of where we're at. Like some of the big fades. For me, it's going to be the guys at the top. Harry Hall, who we talked about. Harris English, I'm not playing him. Shank, probably be off of him. Heavy Scotty Scheffler, and that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I like this. I got like 25 guys or so this looks like a good little setup. I'll do a bit more of a deep dive after. We'll have the player pool up over at ShipitNation.com for all the members. We'll be in the Discord. If you guys have any questions over there, we'll have our core report up where I pick 3, who picks 3. Sometimes we'll have one guy crossover or something, but we'll put a report on why we're on them, and then we'll have it set up so you guys can help get yourselves some lineups in from there. But that's all we got for this week, guys. That was round 2 for yesterday, round 3 for today. We'll be back for both round 2 and round 3 next week for the Memorial is where we're going next week. So hopefully some big contests. I didn't see what popped up there yet, but should be a pretty good week on DraftKings. Shout out to everybody for watching. Appreciate all the support, and let's ship it.